Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are going to start with chapter 2 of the sound of music, unit 1 of your Beehive. We did the first chapter, the fun they had, then you had done the road not taken. Now we are going to do chapter 2, the sound of music. Sound of music. Everyone loves music, isn't it? We love to listen to music. Listen, and when we listen, we enjoy. That is the way we feel music, by listening. Now, what is in this chapter that we are going to read? What is there? This chapter has two parts, part 1 and part 2. So, we'll do part 1 of this chapter today, and this is about Evelyn Glennie. Who is Evelyn Glennie? And what is extraordinary about her? Why we are going to read about her? As we read, we'll come to know why there is a chapter about Evelyn Glennie. Alright, so be ready with your book. The Sound of Music, Part 1. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. I said we love music and we love to listen to music, and when we listen, we enjoy. But here we are going to read about Evelyn Glennie, who loves or listens to sound without hearing. She is deaf. Still she listens to sound. How is it? How is it possible? That is what we are going to read here. That is what is something extraordinary about Evelyn Glennie. God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. She feels music. The vibrations she can feel in her body, through the different parts of her body. And that helps her to understand music, listen to music. We have ears, we listen to the music through our ears, and still many of us may not be able to feel and compose and play many things, many musical instruments. But this person, she is deaf, but she feels music. She feels music through her body. She listens to it through her body. That is the thing that is extraordinary about her. That is why she expresses music so beautifully, and because she feels it through her body, that is why she is able to express also so nicely. And that is why she is someone extraordinary, and we are reading about her. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. A slight girl, looking younger than her 17 years, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. Rush hour, a time when there is a lot of rush, people are moving here and there, peak time for passengers. That time, lot of movement was there on the platform of a metro train. And this small and thin girl, about 17 years old she is, but because she is short in height and she is thin, because of that she doesn't look 17. She was nervous, but she was excited, and she could feel the vibrations of the coming of the train, the approaching train. It was the first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. So she was going to the Royal Academy of Music in London. She has become a student there, and that is why she was very nervous and very excited also. For a teenager, it is a great thing. A teenager who has love for music, it is a great thing to be part of the Royal Academy of Music. And she was going there, and because of that, she was very excited. She was very happy. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. But what was the problem with this girl? She was deaf. That was the problem with her. She was deaf. That was the challenge. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. So, it is not that she all of a sudden became deaf. It is also not that she was born deaf. But gradually, slowly, she became deaf. That is, slowly she lost her power of hearing. Her hearing became less and less, and that way one day she became deaf. And her mother noticed that something was wrong when she was 8 years old. She was waiting to play the piano, and then let's see what happened. They called her name and she didn't move. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, says Isabel Glennie. She was waiting for her chance to play the piano. And then what happened? Her name was called, but she didn't move. That time her mother realized that something is wrong. She's standing here, her name is being called and she is not able to hear. What is this? For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged her parents to take her to a specialist. Her marks started becoming less and less. She started getting less marks. Her performance in studies worsened day by day. By the time she became 11 years old, and when did her mother notice that something was wrong? When she was 8 years old. But Evelyn was able to conceal her problem from her friends and teachers. She didn't allow anyone to know that she was facing this problem of hearing. She couldn't hear properly. But when her marks deteriorated, that time her headmistress called her parents and told them to show her to a specialist. Take her to a specialist. Get her examined. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. So there was some nerve problem, and because of that nerve problem, her hearing weakened and weakened day by day. And because of that, she was becoming deaf. They came to know this when she was 11 years old, when finally, because her headmistress had told her parents, recommended her parents to show her to a specialist, her parents took her to the specialist, and the specialist after examination said that there is some damage to her nerve, and because of that, she is not able to hear properly and she is losing her power of hearing. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. So this advice was given. Hearing aids, they are machines. People who can't hear, they can put this in their ear so that they are able to catch the sound. So this advice was given that hearing aids may be used and she should be sent to the school which is meant for deaf children, because she will not be able to cope up with the studies in the school where normal children grow. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. So for Evelyn, everything is changing. She says suddenly everything, her world has become black. Everything, it seems, has been taken away from her. That normal life, that has been taken away from her. She felt like that. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. But she was a strong girl. She was not ready to give up. Though life is giving her problems, she was not ready to give up in front of her problems. She was determined to face these problems with strong willpower. She wanted a normal life and she was interested in music and she wanted to carry on with this. She was determined to lead a normal life. She wanted to carry on with this passion for music that she had. She didn't want to leave it. She wanted to lead a normal life and follow her passion. Learn music. Listen to music. She wanted to do that. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential, her ability. Ron Forbes is a percussionist. Percussionist, who is percussionist? A person who plays different musical instruments like tabla, drum, etc. It is given there. Percussionist, a person who plays drum, tabla, etc. Alright, these are percussion instruments. So, he is called a percussionist. So, Ron Forbes, a percussionist, he saw the talent in Evelyn. No one was ready to give music class to Evelyn. But this person, he saw Evelyn's talent and her determination, her willpower, and he was ready to give class to her. He began by tuning two large drums, two different notes. So, first two large drums were tuned up and he started a music class with two large drums. And what did he notice? See, what he said, don't listen through your ears, he would say. Try to sense it some other way. He said, don't listen through your ears because you can't hear. You can't hear properly. So don't use your ears. Try to sense music in some other way. Whichever way possible for you. Alright, many times it happens. Someone who is blind, someone who is deaf, God gives them a sixth sense. We all have five senses. But if people have problem with any of the sense, it is said that God gives them a sixth sense. And through that sense, they are able to understand things. So that is what Ron Forbes told her. Don't use your ears. Don't try to listen to music through your ears. But try to feel it in some other way. Suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. And Evelyn says, suddenly, when I tried to feel music, not through my ears, but through my body, I felt that the higher drum could be felt from the part of my body above the waist and the lower one from the part of the body below the waist. I was able to feel it, feel the vibrations. Forbes repeated the exercise and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. And Forbes repeated this exercise using the drum again and again, and soon Evelyn found that she could understand the different notes with different parts of the body. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. And she says it is here that I was able to open up my body to sounds and vibrations. For music, you require your ears. She is not having that sense of hearing. Now what to do? Ron Forbes helped her to understand music using the different parts of her body. And as he trained her, as he gave her the music class, she was able to understand music. She was able to learn music and sense the different notes through different parts of her body. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. The rest was sheer determination and hard work. And once she was able to catch up with music, once she was able to understand, then her determination and her hard work has led her to great success. If she is a successful person today, it is only because of her determination and hard work. If she had lost hope, saying that, I can't hear, let it be. Now I am not going to waste time on music and learning music. Then she would not have become a famous person and we would have not been reading about her. But because she had this strong willpower, because she had this determination to do something, and because she was ready to put in hard work, because of that, she became a successful person. That is the attitude that should be there in us. Hard work and determination. She never looked back from that point onwards. She toured the United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. So, from that point, when she was able to understand music using the different parts of her body, from that time she was determined and she worked hard and she never looked back. She became a part of an orchestra, a music group. She became a part of that and she toured United Kingdom. At that time she was only 16 and she had decided that I am going to make music my life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of Academy. See, it is very difficult to get admission there, Royal Academy of Music. She took the test and it is said that in the history of Royal Academy of Music, her marks are considered to be one of the highest. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performance, solo, single, alone. Earlier she was part of a group. She performed with other people in the group. But now she started giving solo performances, alone. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. And by the time she finished her course in the Royal Academy of Music, by that time she had received most of the music awards of that time. The top awards were taken by her, won by her. Captured means she won all those awards. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. But she never says that I am a hero. I have done a heroic deed. We say, Arey, she can't hear. She is deaf. And see, she has made name in the field of music. She has won so many awards. She has become a very great personality. But she doesn't take it as a heroic deed. She doesn't take it like that. If you work hard and know where you are going, you'll get there. This is what we should understand. We should know our goal. And if we work hard and we know that I have to achieve this thing, definitely we are going to achieve it. We should have that strong willpower. We should have that determination. That is very important. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and hectic international schedule. See, she is a multi-percussionist who can play a number of musical instruments, and she is very busy touring all around the world. She has a very hectic, very busy international schedule. Very busy she is. It is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. So, when we look at her, we are fascinated and we become curious to know how is it possible for her, she can't hear, and how is it possible that without hearing she is giving such a good performance. How is it possible? In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. So, this writer, when she was discussing with Evelyn, talking to Evelyn for 2 hours, she said that Evelyn did not miss one word. She understood whatever this writer was asking her. She understood everything. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. Men who have thick beard. Why? The lip movement is not clear because of the beard. So Evelyn said, those who have thick beard, bushy beard, I have problem there. there it becomes difficult to understand. And she laughed at this. It is not just watching the lips, it's the whole face, especially the eyes. So she doesn't understand things only by watching the lips of the person who is talking to her, but she looks at the face, she reads the face also and the eyes. And using all these things, she is able to understand what that person is asking her or telling her. See, this is the sense that has developed, that extra sense of understanding through the movement of lip, through the movement or the expression on the face, expression in the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. So she is from Scotland, so she has that Scottish accent, and without any mistake she speaks. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, she says. And if someone asks her, how is it that your speech is very clear, you can talk so nicely? So she says, till 11, when I was 11 years, till that time I could hear. And because I could hear, I am able to speak. I learned to speak. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese. From her childhood, she was speaking English with this Scottish lilt. But what about Japanese that she speaks? What about French? How she learned that? That is a mystery. As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. She says, music comes out from every part of my body. There is music everywhere in my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, even in my hair. So in my skin it is here and there. In my cheekbones, in my hair, everywhere there is music. Music is my life. There is music all over me, all inside me. Every part of my body is music. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. Okay, so when she is playing the xylophone, through the stick she could feel the vibrations, the music. She is holding the stick. To the fingertips, the music goes into her body. She could feel those vibrations. By learning against the drums, she can feel. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonances flowing into her body. And by leaning against the drums, by touching the drums, she could feel the vibrations, the music echoing in her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. And when she is on a wooden stage, wooden platform, she removes her slippers, she removes her shoes. Why? So that the vibrations pass on to her body. She could feel the vibrations. If she is wearing the shoes, she is not able to feel the vibrations properly. Bare feet, she can feel it. So that is why she removes her shoes. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audiences. And because there is music everywhere in her, because music is her passion, and because of that, she is able to express music in such a nice manner that everyone is delighted to hear it. Because she has that passion. She is delighted to express it. And that is why people are delighted to hear it. And that is why her audiences are very happy listening to her. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. So she received this award, the Soloist of the Year award, the Solo Performer of the Year award. This award was received by her in the year 1991. And why? Because she gives such nice music. Everyone loves it. Everyone is delighted to hear it because her music comes from every inch of her body, every part of her body. Says master percussionist James Blades, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully. See, this is what I told you. James Blades, the percussionist, what he says, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. This is what I told you. If God takes away a sense, he gives another sixth sense. And that is what she has got, and that is what has made her extraordinary. And what is this sense? What we hear, she feels. We hear music, she feels music. And because she feels music, music is deep in her body, inside her. And that is why she is able to express her feelings through music in a much better manner than many other people. That is why her music is so beautiful. The expression of her music is so beautiful. And that is why people are delighted to listen to her. She feels it through her body. Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. She says, I am a workaholic. Workaholic, a person who keeps on working all the time working. I have just got to work, often harder than classical musicians. This is what she says. I keep working, I just want to work, I can't sit without working. We say that classical music is very difficult, those people have to practice a lot. But according to her, she works more than them. But the rewards are enormous. And because she is putting up so much of hard work, the reward is also there. Her hard work has paid. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. So she goes for music programs, that are the concerts. Alright, she goes all around the world. She is very busy. She has a hectic schedule. Other than that, she goes to prisons for the prisoners and to the hospitals for the patients. She performs in front of them also. Alright, she exhibits her music in front of them, makes their life also lively. She also gives high priority to classes for young musicians, and whenever she is called somewhere to give classes to young children who are interested in music, she is very much interested in going there. She gives priority to these type of classes, keeps all other work for other time, and first she gives her time for this. Anne Richlin of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says, she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. So, she is a inspiration for deaf children. Children who are deaf, who can't hear, they should take inspiration from this person, Evelyn. How she has made her name in the field of music. And what Anne Richlin says is very true. She is really an inspiration, not only for deaf children, but for everyone. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. And according to Anne Richlin, the deaf children, when they come to know about Evelyn, they know that there is no limit for us. We can reach anywhere. Evelyn has done it. She has shown us the way. She has proved it that though she is deaf, her deafness has not made her lose her interest in music. It only increased her willpower, her determination, and by her hard work, she has achieved success. So when she can do it, we can also do it. This is the attitude, this is the inspiration that these children in the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children, these children get from Evelyn. they see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. That is, they can get anywhere. Whatever they want to achieve, they can achieve. Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. So, normal people who are twice her age have not been able to achieve that much what she has achieved at this age. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. Percussion instruments have become a very important part of orchestra because of Evelyn Glennie. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped people, who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. This is the inspiration she is giving to the whole world and mainly to the people who are handicapped. That if she can achieve it, if she can get there, even I can do that. Even I can get there. Even I can achieve success. I can also dream of big things. I can reach my goal. This inspiration the people get looking at Evelyn. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasures to millions. And because of her music, with her music, she has given pleasure, happiness, joy to millions of people all around the world. So, through her determination, through her strong willpower, she has not only achieved success in life, she has not only become a great person, but she has become an inspiration for all other people. Plus, she has given happiness to the people around the world through her music. So, I hope you have understood this chapter. Very important chapter. This chapter tells us to dream high, to set a goal and work hard with determination to achieve that goal. That is what we have to do. No matter what problems we may face, but if we are ready to work hard, if we are determined to achieve it, we will one day achieve our goal. That is what we learn from this chapter. A very important message from the life of Evelyn Glennie. The question answers we'll do once we finish part 2 also of this chapter. Then together, both the parts, I'll give you the question answers. So I hope you all have understood the chapter. So read it once more, go through the chapter. Very easy chapter with a very good message. And try to become someone who is determined to achieve success in life. So be good and take care.